Drew Hayden Taylor, our guest, he's an acclaimed writer, 23 books, a playwright. Are you an actor at all?
The only acting I do is in singles bars.
Really? Still single after all these years? Really?
No, I'm not.
Don't tell the girls.
Exactly.
Okay. Have you got kids and dogs and everything?
I've got a plant and a cat and a girlfriend.
A plant, a cat, and a girlfriend. That's the next book.
Plant, cat, and a girlfriend.
Why not?
It's like The Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe.
Well, you wrote one called Buzz Gem Blues.
That's right.
The Buzz Gem Blues, which was an elder's love story.
An elder's love story, a play, part of a quartet of native comedies I wrote. But yeah, Buzz Gem Blues. It means boyfriend, girlfriend, sweetheart in Anishinaabe.
In Anishinaabe?
Which is our people, our language. People know us as Ojibwe, but we call ourselves Anishinaabe.
Okay, and if this is your country, where is your language? Is a big question in Native culture today, because so much of the tradition is oral, as you know, and the languages are disappearing.
Oh, that's right. Well, there's some famous study, and I couldn't give you the details, that back like in the, I think, early 80s, at time of contact in 1497, there were over 50 separate languages and dialects spoken in Canada, and they expect within the next 20 to 25 years, there'll be 3 left.
3?
Yeah, Inuktitut, Ojibwe, and Cree.
Why?
Well, the whole residential school thing, where there's entire generations that had the language beaten out of them. The media here, that, you know, English on the radio, on television, music, etc. Education, where it, you know, you have to speak the language more than taking a 1-hour class 3 times a week. A combination of things.
I understand. And if you speak Cree, can you use it in France or Germany?
Exactly.
Or Russia? Where are you going to use it? Like, English is kind of the universal language, so do you want your pilot coming in speaking Cree? However, it's such a beautiful language.
Oh, they're all beautiful
the native languages. Yeah. Is there a strong will within tribes and communities to maintain the language?
No, they have there are school programs where I forget the term, where the kids are taught 6 hours a day in their indigenous languages. There's a big push towards keeping the language strong. There are computer programs that our work in native language. I remember up north, up in northern Ontario, there's Cree syllabic keyboard for computers. It's a fabulous time.
Yes. Now, you have been writer in residence many places. I know you're in Michigan, and you've been in Germany, going back to Germany. What do you do in Germany? Well, how are you received in Germany?
In 2 months, I'm doing my 13th lecture tour of Germany, and I've been invited to come back next March, April, May to be the writer in residence at the University of Kiel in Germany. Germans have this strong, bizarre, avid interest in all things North American native, including me, which is always puzzling since I look more German than native. But I keep going over and doing conferences in universities and lecturing about native literature, native humor, native sexuality, any of these different topics, and they keep inviting me back, throwing money at me, all these different things.
Interesting. And so indigenous peoples around the world, or just North American
primarily
indigenous?
North America. Because it goes back to a German writer in the late 1800s named Karl May, who wrote a series of westerns called Winnetou and Old Shatterhand that really romanticized the North American native experience, having never been to North America.
Yes.
And it just, it was very, very popular for the last 120, 130 years. And so there's entire, 3, 4, 5 generations of Germans growing up with this romanticized view of native people. And so we go over and dash that romantic view.
I guess you do. So when you're talking to a German audience about native sexuality or native humor, what do you tell them?
Well, I've actually written a book on native humor and on native sexuality, right? Me funny, me sexy. And we just sit and I talk about how, in many cases, you know, what makes us laugh will make you laugh, and what makes you laugh will make us laugh. Everybody has a funny bone. But the interesting thing is, the best way I know to describe it is like cooking with chicken. You have tandoori chicken, you have chicken cacciatore, you have mixed chicken. It's all chicken, but it's the spices you use to cook that chicken that gives it its unique cultural flavor. Same with humor, and I guess to a lesser extent sexuality. So, in talking about native humor, I talk about the universality and the specifics. that set it aside from the universality. So it's fabulous topics to bring up in discussion. And I mean, everybody likes a good laugh, and everybody likes to talk about sex. And I mean, that's only two of the things I talk about. I also talk about theater and about Native literature, and you know.
And gay Aboriginals. Is it called Two-Spirited? What's it called?
Two-Spirited. Two-Spirited people.
Dual-spirited. Accepted in Aboriginal culture, Indigenous
that's
culture today, or is it as contentious as?
No, that's the irony of it. Traditionally, they used to be accepted and not even accept, that's the wrong terminology. They were part of the Aboriginal community. And then you had the introduction of the church in many communities, which created this overall sense of hostility towards gay and lesbians, who then migrated to the city to look for that acceptance. So there were these thriving two-spirited communities in urban environments. But in the last 20, 30 years, with the resurgence of pride in Aboriginal culture, the sense of hostility towards them in Native communities has lessened quite a bit, from what I understand.
Back to the awards. I said we'd get there. They're Friday night?
Yes, they are.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Where will you be? Where will you sit, being the writer?
Last year when we did the awards, we were so focused on getting everything right that I actually showed up at the awards and realized I don't have a ticket.
Well,
and it's like, and I was going to, I managed to get a ticket, but it was way in the balcony, and I was just going to sit backstage and watch it. But somebody had a free ticket, gave it to me, and I sat in the front and watched it. This year, this morning, I picked up my tickets, and I'm all set to rock and roll.
Great. Who's hosting? Theo Fleury?
Theo Fleury and Carmen Moore.
How great. That'll be a great combination. Theo Fleury's an amazing guy, as you probably know. A big part of this trial.
Oh, I know.
Going on.
I woke up yesterday morning.
For kids who are abused.
I woke up yesterday morning and he was all over the news.
He did the press conference from here, from what I understand, went into the courtroom and
did a victim impact
statement, yes, for sure. So did you write Theo's?
A lot of Theo's stuff.
Hello, I'm Theo Fleury.
With Carmen Moore, their entrance, their exit, yes, all their small talk, all the jokes, all that sort of stuff.
Sure. Now tell me about Carmen Moore.
Oh, Carmen is a beautiful, lovely woman who eats lots and lots of healthy food. She was eating there, having what do they call it, snap peas or snow peas or whatever. And I'm just sort of like, why don't you deep fry those things? No, and she's been on a couple.
Get with it.
Get with
Have
it.
a donut.
Exactly. You're making the rest of us look bad. She also has actually done several of my plays at Fire Hall Art Center here in the past. Yeah.
How great. So when somebody's doing one of your plays, how much fun is it for you to sit and watch, or to cast somebody, be part of the casting process, to be part of it when it explodes, emerges?
It depends, because depending on where I am. Out here, I'm very, very seldomly part of the rehearsal process, because I can't get here. They can't put me up in a hotel. You know, theater lives on a financial edge to begin with. So I always try and come out here for the opening night, and I see what I can see. But last summer, a theater company outside of Peterborough called Fourth Line produced a play of mine, and I was there about every day, every other day, practically watching it. And it's hard to say, because sometimes I really hate rehearsals, because you're watching them do the same 4 lines 37 different times, trying to find the magic way of doing it. And other times you're sitting there watching it, and it's just like so fun to see creation happening.
I'm sure. But the director is also interpreting your work in a sense, and saying,
it's a collaborative effort.
I don't think you've got it quite. Let's try that again. But you have a Premier Native Theatre Company, right? Are you the director of a Premier Native Theatre Company?
No, I
Not
used to be.
anymore?
I used to, years ago. Was it 15 years and 20 pounds ago?
Okay.
I was the artistic director of a Native theatre company called Native Earth Performing Arts in Toronto. But that was another life.
Another life, another time. Did you have a girlfriend then, or should I ask?
Of course I did.
Of course you did. So, a smile is sacred, is it not?
It is. The book on Native humor called Me Funny. I've sort of exploring different aspects of humor, and there's a Hopi proverb that says a smile is sacred. And there's a Navajo tradition, which is really interesting, who live right beside the Hopi. that when a child is born, the whole family and friends look after the child and watch the child closely. And one of the things they're waiting for is for the child to have its first really serious belly laugh. Because until a child can really laugh, it's not considered to be fully born. It's not human yet. And when it laughs, they have a special ceremony for it called the laughing ceremony to welcome it into the world because it's now completely born.
What a fabulous tradition. One up from the powwow.
And there's one drawback of it though. The person that makes that baby laugh has to pay for the ceremony.
Oh, that. See, there's always a catch.
Yes.
So
remember that next time you play with a baby.
I will. A plant, a cat, and a girlfriend, eh?
Yes.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to be here again.
Thank you. Drew Hayden Taylor.